Good morning, America. Breaking overnight, wild weather across the country. More than a dozen people injured at a Backstreet Boys concert canceled when a storm rips through. And everybody ordered out at this stadium in New Jersey.
Jesus, God, help us.
Plus, a father and son's terrifying ride driving through the flames.
Counsel cooperating. ABC News confirming White House counsel Don McGahn met with Robert Mueller's team at least 3 times, answering questions in the Russia investigation. The president and his personal attorney weighing in.
City on edge. An intense manhunt underway in Nashville for 2 cold-blooded killers wanted in a double murder and possibly other shootings.
It's not the Nashville that I know anymore.
Could this car hold any clues?
Dramatic rescue, officers running toward the flames. Heading straight to the raging inferno to save a trapped woman. How they brought her to safety.
And night of surprises behind the scenes at the VMAs, the tribute planned for the Queen of Soul.
Finally, I can see crystal clear.
Plus honors for this stellar performer and an award show where you never know what will happen.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, Dan and Paula have the morning off, but I'm happy to have Whit Johnson here with me. We also have Rob and Ron.
Of course.
Oh, there, you don't see them yet.
Yeah,
Anyways, we're
we
really
exist.
actually looking forward to the VMAs. It's always, you have no idea what's going to happen, what they're going to say.
A guaranteed viral moment. Rob and Ron just watch for the fashion, though, so they give us the debrief when the award show's over.
All right. We'll have more on that in just a little bit, but we want to begin with that dangerous and deadly weather overnight. Take a look at this ominous shelf cloud rolling across Long Island, New York yesterday, quickly darkening the sky.
And one man killed when he was struck by lightning at a Long Island park standing next to a tree under a boardwalk. The 16th lightning fatality this year. And look at this new video of the aftermath of a tornado in Mississippi that toppled trees and damaged a number of homes there.
All of this as the next round of summer storms gets ready to hit the South and the Midwest. Rob is here with more on what we can expect.
Yeah, guys, we have 2 separate systems that impact 2 big chunks of the country today. As we saw yesterday, this time of year, especially when these things develop in the afternoon, they can certainly pack a punch.
Overnight, damaging storms once again causing havoc in the southern plains. More than a dozen people injured after severe storms ripped through a Backstreet Boys concert in Oklahoma. The strong winds tearing down an awning. A chaotic scene as first responders tend to those hurt. 14 rushed to the hospital, part of the venue destroyed.
It's heartbreaking for those people that were there to have fun at the Backstreet Boys concert, and then they have to be wheeled out on a stretcher.
Backstreet Boys tweeting overnight, "We never want to put our fans in harm's way, and with tonight's weather and the injuries from earlier, we have decided to cancel the show."
Your attention, please.
In the east, severe weather also forcing the evacuation of the Kenny Chesney concert in New Jersey's MetLife Stadium. And on Long Island, a man was killed after being struck by lightning. In the west, new video of this mud flow in Southern California after heavy downpours in Riverside County. And take a look at this newly released cell phone video capturing the dramatic moment a son and father became trapped in a raging forest fire in Montana's Glacier National Park.
Jesus, God, help us.
The 2 navigating through the flames as fiery debris rained down on their windshield. The fire caused by lightning now scorching over 4,100 acres.
They certainly can use some of the rain we're getting in the east. I was actually at that Kenny Chesney concert when it was being evacuated, an hour-and-a-half delay because the storms kept lining up and training over each other one after the other. We could see similar action today across the southern plains and across the southeast as well. We'll time that out for you in just a few minutes. Guys, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Rob. Now to the new details about the special counsel's Russia investigation. ABC News confirming White House counsel Don McGahn is extensively cooperating with the probe, answering hours of questions.
President Trump saying he allowed McGahn to speak to Robert Mueller's team. ABC's White House correspondent Tara Palmieri is in New Jersey, where the president is spending the weekend, with more. Tara, good morning.
Good morning, Whit and Eva. Don McGahn reportedly offered insight into some of his most intimate moments with the president, including Trump's furor over the Russia investigation and the firing of former FBI Director James Comey. Overnight, President Trump acknowledging a stunning new report from the New York Times, revealing that White House counsel Don McGahn has cooperated extensively with the special counsel's investigation. Trump tweeting, "I allowed White House counsel Don McGahn and all other requested members of the White House staff to fully cooperate with the special counsel. In addition, we readily gave over 1 million pages of documents."
The president encouraged all the people who testified to tell the truth, to take as long as they needed to do that.
McGahn reportedly shared, quote, detailed accounts about the episodes at the heart of the inquiry into whether President Trump obstructed justice. ABC News confirming that McGahn has met with Mueller's team at least 3 times and has been questioned for more hours than any other member of the White House staff who has gone in for an interview. White House sources have told ABC News that Mueller had specifically requested to speak to McGahn due to the circumstances surrounding James Comey's firing.
Mr. Mueller is highly conflicted. In fact, Comey is like his best friend. I could go into conflict after conflict.
McGahn's lawyers telling ABC News in a statement that his client answered the special counsel's office's questions, quote, fulsomely and honestly, after the president's lawyers declined to assert executive privilege over his testimony. White House sources tell ABC News that McGahn and the president have a frayed relationship. McGahn has openly expressed his frustrations about the president, and according to the New York Times, McGahn called the president King Kong because of his supposedly volcanic anger. Trump's lawyer Rudy Giuliani telling ABC News that he's confident McGahn did not offer any evidence that is, quote, remotely harmful to the president.
Don McGahn was the strongest witness for the president, meaning he completely gave testimony that said that the president didn't do anything wrong.
This morning, President Trump is lashing out against that New York Times report, calling it a fake piece, tweeting, it implies that Don McGahn was giving hours of testimony because he must be a, quote, John Dean type rat. He says, quote, but I allowed him and all others to testify. I didn't have to. I have nothing to hide. Guys?
All right, Tara, thank you. So much to discuss here. Let's go ahead and bring in our chief anchor, George Stephanopoulos, who's hosting This Week later this morning. A lot to dissect here. As we mentioned there, ABC News now confirming that White House counsel Don McGahn has met with Mueller's team. The president signed off on it. But how significant is it for the White House lawyer to cooperate at this level?
It's stunning. It is absolutely stunning. 30 hours of testimony, could be even more than that. It's a surprise to many people who've watched this case closely that the president didn't cite executive privilege and prevent Don McGahn and others from testifying. As the president says, it shows that he has nothing to hide. But here's what we don't know. Here's what the big question is going forward. Even though, according to the reporting, Don McGahn did not testify that he saw President Trump directly break the law, the question is, does all the information he have, how is that put together by Robert Mueller with everything else he's gathered over this last more than a year of investigation? It's one more sign, I think, that Robert Mueller has gone deeper and farther than anyone knows. We don't know what Robert Mueller knows. We know he knows an awful lot.
Yeah, and he's keeping it all very quiet still. President Trump caused a huge stir this week, revoking the security clearance of one of his biggest critics, the former CIA Director John Brennan. A lot of backlash from that move. What does this all mean? What does this mean going forward?
This is something we've never seen before. The president clearly has the power to revoke security clearances, but no president has ever taken away the security clearance of a former official because he didn't like what that official was saying out there in public. Other CIA directors have lost their security clearances when they broke the law, when they mishandled classified information, not when they spoke out politically. And that's why it sparked such a fierce backlash. We've seen dozens of former intelligence officials going back to the Reagan administrations, including 14 CIA directors and deputy CIA directors, all rebuke President Trump for this move. But the president does not appear to be done yet. He's threatening to revoke more security clearances, even of some officials who still serve in the government. That's chilling.
Oh, wow. Well, a big show this morning. Thanks, George. And a reminder, George has that show this morning. This week, co-anchor Martha Raddatz has an exclusive interview from Jerusalem with White House National Security Advisor John Bolton.
Plus, Georgia and the Powerhouse Roundtable break down all the week's politics. That's all coming up on This Week right here on ABC.
Turning now to a city on edge. Nashville police are on the hunt for 2 cold-blooded killers. They're calling them armed and dangerous.
The pair are already linked to a double murder, but investigators are trying to determine if they've been involved in other shootings over the past week. ABC's Ariel Reshef is here with the very latest. Ariel, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. Good morning, Eva. Police say the pair may be linked to at least 4 shootings in and around Nashville. An intense manhunt underway this morning amid fears they could kill again.
This morning, Nashville police say they're pursuing active leads after a recent spate of seemingly random shootings. 2 armed and dangerous suspects still at large.
I've been in Nashville all my life. I have never gotten up every morning to see 2 people shot, 1 person dead, 3 people shot.
Authorities hunting for the 2 men believed to have gunned down 33-year-old Bartley Teal and 30-year-old Jamae Sarantonio early Friday morning in the parking lot of an East Nashville bar.
2511 Galveston Avenue at the Cobra Bar. Someone shot.
The 2 out celebrating Teal's birthday, walking back from a convenience store when authorities say the assailants robbed them and opened fire.
Those guys have come up and asked her for money. She probably would have just given it to them.
Investigators say a common thread may link those murders to 2 other violent incidents just days prior. August 8th, an unidentified woman shot in the back and robbed while walking her dogs. That woman now paralyzed. And on August 14th, 31-year-old Kendall Rice robbed and shot to death on his way to work. In all of the cases, witnesses telling police they spotted a black Chevy sedan speeding away from the scene. Residents now urged to remain vigilant and not to go out alone.
And police say they believe the suspects are still in the Nashville area. All of those crimes happening within about a 10-mile radius. Authorities are now stepping up their patrols, especially where these crimes have happened, and they're telling people to go out in groups, not to go out alone.
And it's difficult for law enforcement to connect the dots, but there are striking similarities between these cases.
There are some similar witness descriptions and similar car description as well. They're trying to follow every lead.
And all those people there in Nashville are very worried and anxious about that one.
Absolutely. Ariel, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Now to outrage over ICE arresting a man who is driving his pregnant wife to the hospital.
His wife is pleading for her husband's return just days after giving birth. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in our Los Angeles bureau with what ICE officials are saying about why this man was targeted. Good morning, Marcy.
Eva and Whit, good morning. ICE initially put out a statement saying that anyone in the U.S. illegally is subject to detention, but later elaborated, saying this father is accused of a very serious crime in Mexico. Overnight, immigration officials explaining this arrest. Surveillance video shows SUVs surrounding this vehicle. Inside, Joel Arona Lara and his pregnant wife, Maria del Carmen Venegas, on their way to a Southern California hospital to deliver their baby. Arona Lara in the U.S. illegally from Mexico, handcuffed and taken into custody, leaving his wife sobbing inside this gas station. When I asked, why are you taking him, they said somebody reported us, she says. She recounted the dramatic scene after driving herself to the hospital and giving birth to their son. ICE officials defending their arrest, telling ABC News Mr. Arona Lara was brought to ICE's attention due to an outstanding warrant issued for his arrest in Mexico on homicide charges. The family's attorney denies the allegations.
We don't believe he's got any kind of criminal history whatsoever.
Telling us the arrest affidavit says nothing about a homicide accusation and that it only says that Arona Lara is charged with being in the country without documents. Arona Lara's legal team saying they are undeterred in their determination to get him released on bond to be with his wife and the newest member of their family. And the attorney tells me they plan to file a motion tomorrow to have him released on bond as ICE moves forward with proceedings to have him deported. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Marcy. Now to University of Maryland players and parents breaking their silence.
They are opening up about accusations of a toxic culture in UMD's football program. ABC's Zachary Quiche has more.
End zone touchdown.
This morning, parents of University of Maryland football players starting to speak out after the university accepted legal and moral responsibility for mistakes that were made when 19-year-old Jordan McNair had a seizure and later died following a grueling off-season workout.
When I first heard about Jordan, it was a blow. It was a heck of a blow.
This on the heels of an announcement that the Board of Regents will take over the investigation into the football program after an ESPN report which called the culture toxic. But after the university held a meeting with players and their parents Saturday, this father still standing behind the program.
This program is not toxic. My son has not complained about anything.
This junior defensive tackle told the local TV station, WUSA, he witnessed behavior referenced in the report, including an incident where he says a player struggling to lose weight was forced to eat candy bars while his teammates worked out.
I believed in their minds it was their way of motivating him to, work towards the right direction. Maybe that they were a little excessive in that area.
But he is also defending head coach DJ Durkin's name. Durkin was put on leave.
I think he's a great coach, but I understand that there's a process to be taken. I just hope his name and reputation doesn't get tarnished.
From Jordan McNair's parents' perspective, Durkin should be out, as they told Michael Strahan in an exclusive interview.
Do you guys think he should resign as well?
Yes, absolutely. He shouldn't be able to work with anybody else's kid. You send your kid away to college for them to be safe, and they did anything but that, so of course he should be fired.
That family, they're obviously still grieving about the loss of their son. A foundation has been created in the name of education and kind of advocacy to prevent something similar from happening as it relates to these heat-related illnesses.
It's always a risk when you're playing sports in the heat.
It is.
And regardless of what happens in this investigation, sends a message to other football programs out there that are ramping up for the season. You got to take care of your athletes.
It's a really fine line between pushing players to the next level, trying to get the most out of them, and keeping everyone safe.
Absolutely. Zachary Keesh, thank you.
Let's get a check now of our weather with Rob Marciano, a sleepy Rob Marciano this morning.
No. Right back at him.
The concert delays setting in.
It happens, but it was a great show, and I'm glad I was there. Look, if you got outdoor plans today, or going to a concert or a baseball game or football spring training, we've got some storms that are firing across parts of the Central Plains. This is kind of an elongated system right now, and as we go through the next 12 to 24 hours, they'll kind of come together, stack on top of each other in the same areas that get hit yesterday, maybe a little bit farther to the east. We'll get it today, and then through tomorrow, getting messy from Des Moines up through Minneapolis, maybe Chicago as well. Some heavy storms with heavy rain and some gusty winds with these. Des Moines could see 3, 4, 5 inches of rainfall potentially there, and then Little Rock back through parts of Mississippi. These are areas that have flooded in the past couple of weeks, so still kind of saturated here. Hurricane Lane out in the Pacific, Category 3 storm still with 125-mile-per-hour winds, about 900 miles away from Hilo, Hawaii, heading in that direction. The forecast track does decrease its intensity a little bit, but does scoot a little bit closer. Day 4 and 5, some uncertainty there, so we'll be watching that closely for our friends in the 50th state. That's checking the national headlines, weather headlines. Here's a look at your local weather forecast.
Hello and good morning, Washington. Cloudy skies to start the day. We'll continue to be in and out of the clouds all afternoon. Now, temperatures, they should reach near 80 degrees by lunchtime. Going towards the afternoon hours, though, we'll have a possibility for a few stray showers, about a 30% chance. High temperatures reaching the lower 80s. Just a stray shower in the forecast on your Monday. Fair amount of clouds in the morning hours. By Tuesday, best chance for storms. Will clear out, though, Thursday and Friday. Low humidity, beautiful conditions to round out the work week.
Nobody this sleepy could be standing at the desk like this with such attention.
Or maybe you're standing because you're really sleepy.
No.
You look great. You look like $100.
Nothing like an outdoor concert when it's country music.
That's right.
And it's
puts on a good
Chesney.
show. Absolutely.
And by the way, we also have Romina Puga, who is here today, filling in for Adrian on Pop News. We'll get more of all that stuff coming up in just a little bit. First, though, let's get a check of our headlines. Mr. Ron Claiborne, good morning to you. Dr. Ron, yes, my apologies.
Good morning to you and Eva, Romina. Robert, you crabbed me, bro.
Look, I'm giving you your space.
You're over there, yesterday.
Back it up.
Get back over there.
Marciano.
And good morning, everyone. We're going to begin overseas, on the seas, actually, where overnight more earthquakes were rocking the Pacific Ocean, some affecting land. And a massive 8.2 magnitude shock was reported about 200 miles off the islands of Fiji and Tonga, while a 6.3 magnitude quake jolted the Indonesian island of Lombok, causing landslides and damaging some buildings there. Lombok is, of course, still recovering from an earthquake earlier this month that killed 460 people there. In London, a Sudanese immigrant has been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder for allegedly driving a car into pedestrians and then crashing it outside of Parliament last week. Investigators say 29-year-old Salah Khater does not appear to have ties to terrorism. They are instead looking at possible personal motives and his mental health. Back in the U.S., the FAA is investigating a near miss between a drone and a helicopter off the coast of Hollywood, Florida. This video, which was posted on YouTube but since has been removed, shows the close call.